Okay, everybody, here we go. It's me, Gregory Mannarino, Friday, May 3rd, 2024, post-market report. And yes, I am casual for this post-market here. I tell you, just real quick, most of you know I'm in kind of a dark place, and being miserable doesn't help much, honestly. But coming here and seeing all of you, thank you, Army Mom, I appreciate that. Yes, remember, everyone deployed. And then anyway, you guys and girls really cheer me up. I'm just looking at this Goulstein the Gargoyle talking about Anacott Steel. Buy Anacott Steel, absolutely buy Anacott Steel. And you got Lava talking about how 22 is good for everything except bears. How about bulls? Anyway, all right, people. Look, thanks for making me smile. I do appreciate that. I appreciate all of you so much. We have a lot to talk about today. The real story wasn't the stock market again. Everybody is focused on this. And you're watching the mainstream media, CNBC, Bloomberg, Fox Business. They're looking at the market higher across the board, and they don't even know what to do with themselves. Oh, they're orgasmic all over the place. But again, they're not telling you what's really happening here. It's the debt market. Are you watching what's going on here? Massive amounts of debt buying here. Let me ask you, because we're all friends, right? We can talk about a lot, you and me. We talk about everything. I share all kinds of personal things with you and everything else. Okay. So you have today a simultaneous rally. Debt market, huge rally. Some mysterious entity out here is buying a lot of debt. That's suppressing bond yield, 10-year yield dropping. You know the mechanism when this happens here. And the dollar, weaker today as well. A perfect setup for the stock market. The stock market wants to see two things: suppress rates and a weak dollar. A weak dollar is beautiful for the stock market. It's perfect for multinational corporations here. But for the consumer, for the people here in the United States, it is a disaster area. You need proof? Look around you. That's the situation we've had. Artificially suppressed rates since the last meltdown in the market. We've had this mechanism of obviously currency creation out of nothing for, well, over a decade. And how's that playing out for you? Inflation rising across the board? Yeah, you see how this works? Let me ask you, we're all friends. Again, we talk. How does a central bank weaken its currency? Let's see how many of you know the answer to this. You better know the answer if you follow this blog. For a central bank to weaken its currency, it has to create more of it and disperse it everywhere. Yeah, that's how you do it. Massively inflationary. Again, great for multinational corporations, but bad for the consumer. Okay, no secret here. Although I took an interesting poll later, and we'll talk about that. 9% of the people seem to be somewhat brain dead, and we'll talk about that more later. That's okay. There's always going to be within a group of really smart people. There's going to be the subgroup, the 9%ers, at least in this case, that are maybe lacking a few brain cells here. But we'll talk more about that later. Anyway, going back to the freak show here. Beautiful day for the market. Who cares? It's the debt market that matters. You and I, that's what we're following. Risk in this market is dropping. The MMRI, Mannarino Market Risk Indicator. This is the greatest risk indicator. I really believe this, that has ever been created. Okay, it's not the end all. It's my little monster, my little creation, and it works. You're watching it drop. You see the market go up. You see when we get into the red zone, the market hates it. Okay, it's a pretty good tool. It's not the only tool, but it's a nice little tool for us, and it's free to everybody who wants to use it. Link in the description of this video. Right, Jay Gunn? Thank you. You know what I'm talking about here. Anyway, so there's a lot of really interesting things. I'm going to bring this up right off the bat. So a few people today are writing to me that they're having the same problem. And I find this interesting, disturbing. I don't know the word. Okay. And the only reason I'm even bringing this up is because I've never seen this before in the same day. So I've had a bunch of people today writing to me that they could not get cash out of their ATM. They went to the ATM, usually works. They had to go into the bank to get their cash out. So this is what I wrote. Again, this is in your inbox. I put out all kinds of stuff for you in my newsletter, which is free. So don't forget to subscribe. So several people today have written to me saying they were unable to withdraw cash from their local ATM, which they do all the time, apparently. Having to go into their bank to withdraw funds. They were able to get the funds once they went into the bank. Now, I wrote, this could be nothing, or it could be something. What are your thoughts on this? Now, the only reason why I'm bringing this up, I've never seen this before. And look, I get about 2,000 people a day writing to me, commenting, maybe more than that. And when I see a common theme there, and I look through this stuff, I always tell you I do. Mitch knows what I'm talking about. It's got to raise your eyebrows a little bit. What do we know is happening? It always comes down to this. We are in a full-blown liquidity crisis. It's a debt crisis of the highest possible order. It is not going to stop. It's going to get worse from here. Is it possible that, let's say in the case of these people that couldn't get cash out of their ATMs, and I'll tell you something, I don't know where these people are from. These could be from anywhere in the world. So if you're having this problem, I want to hear from you, and I want to know where you live. Greg, I live in this country. Greg, I live in the United States. Let me know, because if this starts to get more widespread, then we have to start thinking that maybe it is something. Could be nothing, could be something. But is it that people are withdrawing their cash from ATMs? Because a lot of people don't like face-to-face encounters, especially when they're pulling cash out of accounts. You understand? You and I realize, and I hope people are getting smart, you got to get your cash out of these institutions here. All right. The whole system is a black hole. The whole system is insolvent. It operates in a perpetual deficit, no matter how much cash they create out of nothing. Liquidity crisis, debt crisis. You all know this. We've covered it to the point of nauseum. So is it the first thing that came to my mind when I heard this was, well, hold on a minute. Is it possible that people are trying to not go into their banks, but they're withdrawing cash? And the ATMs are running out of it because people are doing the right thing, pulling their cash out of these institutions. You know, look, only keep what you need in these institutions. Credit unions are safer, in my view. Do your own research on this. But the issue is monumental. We have loan defaults skyrocketing. Bank balance sheets are in a lot of trouble here. I mean, they're all insolvent anyway. It's just the way the system operates here. Fractional reserve, you know that. The big banks do have a main line to the Fed who's going to support them as they consolidate the system. People realize there's a problem. They're not that stupid. And with your help, we are getting information like this out. Ted Nugent's tank. I appreciate that. Wow. Army Mom. Thanks again. Lord, thank you. Anyway, no, I'm not the man. You're the man. Mitch, thank you too. But you see what I'm talking about? So this does raise my eyebrows, okay? On the same day, to hear this going on tells me that maybe there's something here. Maybe people are pulling their cash out. They're trying to avoid the face-to-face confrontation with the bank teller. Why are you withdrawing your funds? You know, maybe just little withdrawals. You know, if you take out a lot of money in the bank, and this happened to me too. You go into the bank and you take out several $1,000. They actually ask you what you're doing with it. Why do you need this money? Why do I need it? Read between the lines. That's why I need it. You understand? This is mine, supposedly, although it's not your cash. You work for the privilege to borrow that from the central bank. And then, of course, you got to pay it back plus interest they create out of nothing. But that's a whole other story. You know that. But anyway, like I said, I want to hear from you. This is interesting to me. Are people starting to pull their cash out? Are they getting smart? What are they doing? I don't know. Please let me know what you think. Something's brewing. This is nothing. I have no idea. But you're all smarter than me. So you guys and girls, let me know what you think is going on here. Here's some economic information here that I think we need to talk about real quick. There's a couple of things. It's a mess. I just cleaned up this whole office and it's already a disaster. So restaurants in not little fast food places, because we already know what's going on. McDonald's said the consumer is cracking. We just heard and they're one of the biggest fast food retailers anywhere you can find. But restaurants in every major city in the United States are reporting declines in their patronage, people that are going to their restaurants. People are obviously, look, what are people doing? They're borrowing from their credit cards just to try to make ends meet. Our economy is booming and we are super strong. You know that's true because that's what our illustrious president said. And he must be right because he said Biden creature thing that he is, not human either. All right. He told us that the U.S. economy is the envy of the world. You remember that during the State of the Union? Did you want to vomit all over the place? I did. I can't even listen to it speak. But anyway, so our economy is so strong. Jeffrey knows what I'm. Yes, exactly. That restaurants in every major city in the United States are reporting declines in people that are going out to eat here. I don't know about you, but I love going out to eat. It's one of my favorite things to do. I love sitting there and just eating and drinking periodically. I don't drink much. I'm a real lightweight. I have a very low tolerance because I don't really drink much, but I have a glass of wine once in a while here and there. You know what I mean? People are being forced to stay in, and not just that. Prices continue to rise across the board. So again, the situation is dire, and I think we really do understand that. So that's one piece of economic news that in every major city, restaurants are reporting a decline in people going out, and this is gonna hurt. These places are gonna go out of business, unfortunately. People are going to lose their jobs. Speaking of jobs here, miserable report today on the jobs front here, much less than expected, and unemployment continues to rise. But the stock market's higher. Stock market's higher. And why? Nothing matters. Fundamental factors do not matter anymore. You know that. Nothing. It's all about easy money. It's all about a weak dollar. It's all about the suppression of rates. And that could vault the stock market to whoever it wants to go. Again, not that look, you have to understand something else. Just because the MMRI has dropped to a high risk zone doesn't mean there's no risk. We are living in a very precarious environment, an economic collapse, period. The end. That's what's going on. You wouldn't know that because the illusion of the market is being maintained, especially now that risk has dropped. Who's buying all the debt? You tell Greg Mannarino. I think we're on the same page. But as I've been telling you, I believe they're going to prop this up through the presidential selection. Then after that, things could change and could change dramatically. Let us move forward here. On the economic front, yet again, third piece of bad economic news. Service sector gauge weakened sharply in April, but the stock market went higher. Randall, yeah, you see, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the economic news is. Restaurants closing down or losing their patronage here. Jobs don't matter. Market goes up. Easy money. Weaker dollar, not good for the people, great for the market, great for multinationals. Keep that in mind because we have to talk about that a little bit more. You know what? Let's actually move forward just a little bit here. So this is something I put out earlier today, and I want to read this to you, and I want you to think about it. All right, whatever you're doing, all right, whatever you're doing, what are you doing here? All right, whatever you're doing, all right, little New York accent here. Whatever you're doing, you know what I mean? I want you to stop, and I want you to focus on what I am saying or what I'm going to cover right now. So I put this out again. Most of you got this who do subscribe to this video blog. You got this notification. So do you believe that it is better to have a strong currency or a weaker currency? Understanding, this is the important part, that in order for a central bank to weaken its currency, it must increase the amount of currency in circulation or inflate, okay, which is obviously inflationary. It also makes central banks stronger. You know that. Knowing what we just covered here, which of the choices below which would be the obvious choice, what is better for you, the consumer here? A stronger currency or a weaker one? 9% of you got this wrong. Yes, you did. Sure, as I said, multinational corporations will thrive in a weaker dollar environment. Countries around the world, it will be easier for them to buy our products, but we don't make anything. The United States runs a trade deficit, which is getting bigger and bigger every second of every single day. Now, if you might be surprised as to what the U.S. top export products are, I want to cover this with you just real quick. Anyway, for the 91% of you that got this right, congratulations, you're paying attention here. But top U.S. exports, I say it's propaganda and obviously inflation that we export to the world. I don't know which one's bigger. Is it propaganda or we export our inflation to the rest of the world? I don't know. They're sick of it. I can't blame them. But according to this, our top export is oil. civilian aircraft, number 2, gasoline and other fuels, number 3, liquefied natural gas and other petroleum gases, and passenger vehicles. These are the top 5. Okay, but again, consider the fact that we run a perpetual, ever-increasing trade deficit. We import much more. So, with regard to countries being able to buy the stuff that we make, it ain't going to help you unless you work, obviously, in the energy producing field here. We don't make anything anymore. Okay, this has become it's become an import nation, and it's pathetic. So anyway, I want you to read something here. I have said to you for a very long time that it doesn't matter who sits behind the Resolute desk. We're going to lose anyway. Either way, understanding what we just covered with regard to the dollar. This is what President Trump had to say. Trump blames the strong dollar for U.S. economy going to hell. During this man's tenure, okay, what did he want? A weaker dollar, and he even called for negative rates. He's a fan of negative rates, obviously, meaning you would have to pay the bank to keep your cash in these institutions, cash you should be taking out, and I hope you are. So if, in fact, this man is selected, this may help him get selected. I'm going to tell you right now, because what this would do, if he weakens the dollar, that would mean the Federal Reserve would have to create vast amounts of currency out of nothing and then obviously push that out into the economy. Massively bad for you. Great for corporations. Absolutely. They're going to get fatter and richer than you can possibly believe. Multinational corporations especially here. But you and me, we're going to get the shaft deep, double shafted, straight up the gabagool, dry. That's what you can expect if he is selected. And of course, price action distortions in the stock market, which you won't believe. Rah, rah, rah. You remember that every day. What the stock market do today? It's higher. Why? Weaker dollar. Lower rates here. This is driving him nuts what he's seeing right now here. It doesn't matter anyway. The current freak, brain dead. He has no say-so in what's going on whatsoever. The man doesn't know if he's alive or dead. I'm talking about Bidenstein. Creature man, mummy man, whatever it is. I can't stand thinking about him. Oh, somebody help me. I really can't. But I want to vomit. I get nauseated when I think of certain creatures, and Biden is one of them. But it doesn't matter who they put there. We lose, just so you know, we lose. This man went to Wharton Business School. He knows what 91% of you know, but he don't care. You understand? Doesn't work for you. Does not work for you. Works for the corporation, the corporate agenda, the military-industrial complex, and the Federal Reserve. Because this right here, this actually may buy him the election. If he promises to allow the Fed to inflate here, well, then of course he's going to be the chosen one. He already said he was, right? And that's the whole thing, is to bring us to our knees via the monetary system. The monetary system is a disaster area on an epic scale. Beyond an epic scale, again, people can't survive. This will make it worse. But anyway, what else can I tell you, people? I think we're on the same page with all this here. What else? You know, yesterday, again, I did not take any questions from you. I was in a worse place yesterday than I am today. And thanks to all of you, I am in a better spot here. I'll be honest with you. Yes, we are being played. Shannon, you're 100%. We're being played like we can't believe, but not you and me. Okay, put this stuff aside. Okay, if you focus on what's happening, you listen to things like this. Okay, you understand how rigged the system is against you, and it's only going to get worse moving forward. It must get worse. The system is being dismantled. A new system is going to emerge from this. A system of control. People are being forced to surrender, and they want to. People, that's what I find disturbing. Okay, really, really, probably the most disturbing. People are willing to surrender their rights, their liberties, and their freedoms, which is being stolen away from us, obviously, bit by bit, incrementally here by our loving, caring representatives. And they're willing to do this so they can get, some kind of a government assistance. They be taken care of. They don't want to compete anymore. You understand? That's not you and me. You and me have an insurmountable edge, and I want you to understand that, because we realize who our enemy is. We know what they want to do. And they've been working on this for over a century. Okay, we're living in the side effect of what they've created. None of this is by accident here. This is not a comedy of errors here. It's deliberate. Everything we're seeing has fallen exactly into place. Just like we've called it for freaking years, people, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. All right. Anyway, with that, people, I will take some questions from you. Greg smokes. I am not smoke. I do not do that stuff. I haven't done that in many decades. Decades. I'm not saying I never did it. Like what president was it that said he never did it? Oh, he put it in his mouth, but he didn't inhale it. Well, I inhaled a whole bunch of that stuff. I'm not going to lie. This was like high school days. Okay. So it's been quite a long time. I'm 50 freaking 8 years old. Anyway, that's kind of it. It was Clinton. I said I thought. I didn't want to say it because I'll be attacked. Believe me, if I get something wrong like that, I will get slammed upside down, backwards, and sideways. Axiom, how you doing, bro? Good to talk to you. I did get your email, by the way, and I appreciate you so much. All of you people. Look, let me tell you something, and I mean this with all I got. You guys and girls keep me sane. You keep me level. And despite the fact that I find this too much sometimes, really, and I need a day or two off, I just can't cope. Without it, I'd probably be in a rubber room somewhere. But you guys, you keep me grounded. You keep me on top of things too. Because again, I follow this stuff. I like to follow it. I find it very interesting. But I take it to the next level because of all of you. I try my hardest to give you actionable information, not just information you can laugh at or cry about or whatever, but stuff you can ponder and think about and say, okay, I am going to take action, because that's what this channel is all about. This isn't about being entertained, although sometimes I do go cuckoo and I make funny faces and drool and shit like that. I understand that. It's just a coping mechanism. The accountant knows what I'm talking about here. Thank you. But anyway, I need all of you. I really do, badly. And I look so forward to this live stream. I love doing my morning videos. I really do. I wanted this to be live, all of my shows, just so you know. But I got such pushback from that. I mean, people went crazy. I started to do that. People went nuts on me. No, don't do that. So what do? I split it up. For the people that don't want to watch the live stream, I do the one in the morning. For those of you that enjoy the live stream, we're doing this together. And I just love this. I love looking here at the comments. I feel like we're in the same room. And we have people here from all over the world. We've really created something really good here, people, honestly. And I'm just so thankful. JEPQ, JEPI. Yes, I still own them. I am still adding to those positions. People, look, I told you, all of you. My risk tolerance is pretty much in the stratosphere or far beyond the sun. I like to say that, Malmsteen, amazing guitar player. Anyway, my favorite guitar player, and people have asked me this a million times. I have two guitar players, just real quick on a totally different note, that I believe were the best of all time. And I don't know who is better. All right, I'm going to tell you my favorite two. You ready? Jimi Hendrix. I get chills just thinking about that. That man and Jimmy Page. These two guys, Led Zeppelin, Jimmy Page. They were, in many ways, the people I've always looked up to from a guitar playing standpoint. Phenomenal. And I think today, the genius of their guitar playing, it still stands out. It's an absolutely incredible thing. Randy Rhoads was phenomenal too. There's a lot of great people. Throngs and throngs. I could sit here and just rattle them off, but I'm just saying my personal two favorite of all time. Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix. Both these guys. Maybe it's the name Jimmy. I don't know. Maybe I should change my name. All right, people. Look, I think we're kind of done here. It's Ted Nugent, phenomenal, absolutely phenomenal player as well. But not in one of my all-time favorites. Definitely great man. All right, people. I am going to get out of here. It is Friday, so we're going to do our thing in just a moment here. But ponder these things that we speak about all the time, please. I want to hear from you. I'm hoping you're going to share this stuff, get it out there. I want to hear from you, especially if you're having any of these issues with these ATMs. And I want to know where you are. Okay. Hey, Greg, I've had this same problem. I am here in the world. I want to know because it's very possible this is the beginning of something. Are people pulling their cash? They don't want that face-to-face confrontation going into the bank. I can totally understand that. I can totally understand that. Who wants to interact with someone on the? I don't want to do that if I don't have to. If I have a mechanism to look at some machine that has no feelings or anything, I'm going to do that. I don't want to be questioned. I don't want to go into a bank and say, "Well, Mr. Mannarino, what are you going to use the cash for?" Oh, that burns me up. You have no idea how much that burns me up. It drives me out of my mind. Could you imagine they have the balls to ask you that? I know they have no choice. If you are a teller, and I'm not putting you down, I understand you have a job to do. I do. But I just find it revolting, freaking revolting that they question what you're going to do with the cash you've borrowed from the Federal Reserve and have to pay back plus interest. You know how that system works. People, this guy thanks you all for your love, your friendship, your support, everything, kind words, and everything else. But now it's time for you to bring it in, and I don't care who's looking, do it anyway. If they're looking good, good. Let them look all they want. You ready? Love each other, care about each other, be charitable. People, we got each other's backs always. I will see you on Sunday for my markets, a look ahead, and I don't care what they do. We will counter strategize against. We're doing it already. That's the beauty of the spots that you and I have been in. Okay. We've been doing the right things with regard to this market, being on the opposite side of the trade, becoming our own central banksman for years. And we're not going to stop now. All right. Love you a lot. Until we meet again, which will be Sunday, take care of yourselves and take care of each other. All right. Love you from the heart. I'll see you.